Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show. It's your life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Wow, you know, I'm excited every time I have this guest on. It's such a wealth of knowledge, and I just she had me laughing, and but she's always bringing her A game to everything that she do. So I'm gonna let Michelle. I ain't gonna steal Michelle's thunder right now and introducing and letting you all know who this guest is, but I can tell you one thing that she is absolutely wonderful, and always a pleasure to have her on. So before I do anything, how are you doing, Dr. Cooley? How are you doing today?
I'm busy, but I'm doing good. This week has gone by so quick. It's already Thursday, and we leave. It's about now. No, it's not Thursday. It's the middle of the week, and we leave on the weekend. So, it's been a really quick week, but I am doing great, and I'm excited about the guest we have on today. She's a returning guest, and you're right, she is a wealth of knowledge.
A wealth of knowledge every time, and I tell you, for our viewers and listeners that don't know what Michelle just said, yeah, we are in California this week, and we've been here for a few days, and we'll be heading back to Texas in a few days, and been having a great time in California. Like always, we live in California, we live in Texas, but primarily in Texas. But I'm ready to get back and see my dog.
Hey, Bella.
I know they got a television in her thing, so she might be watching.
Don't tell the audience how we spoil our dog by putting her in a suite at the boarding place where she has her own TV and soft music. Yes, we spoil our dog, audience. We're not ashamed.
But I tell you, I'm excited about the guests. I'm excited about the topics because we all have adversities, right? And a lot of times we let these things get in our head. A lot of times they prevent us from moving forward. A lot of times they take us so far back that it's almost impossible to catch up. So I tell you, without giving that away, Michelle, can you please tell our viewers, our listeners, the title of the show, the purpose of the show, and introduce this surprise guest that's been on the show about 4 or 5 times already?
Oh, most definitely. Well, the title of today's show is Turning Adversities into Achievements. And the purpose of the show, we're going to have a discussion with Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award recipient of the honorary doctorate from TIUA School of Business, Entrepreneurship and Business, founder and executive director of an economic empowerment and education nonprofit organization called WETATi Academy, renowned international Moxie motivational speaker, author, publisher, entrepreneur, and Gambian Goodwill ambassador, Dr. Margaret. Dureke.
Don't forget to mention the ambassador real loud.
I did say ambassador, Dr. Margaret Dureke. And we're going to talk about, the history, how Margaret Speaks came into fruition, and how to turn your adversities into achievements and the steps necessary, and learn about WETATi Academy. So let's talk a little bit about our guest today. She has got an impressive bio, so I'm going to have to really shorten it for the show. Wow. She's a recipient of one of the highest civilian honors in America, the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award and honorary doctorate degree of philosophy and entrepreneurship and business administration. She's also a recipient of the Maryland Daily Record Top 100 Women 2023, and recently Ambassador Dr. Margaret Dureke was named by Major League Soccer DC United Black Players for Change, an independent organization of Black MLS players, coaches, and staff working to bridge the racial equality gap in soccer and society, and RBC Wealth Management as a 2023 All-Star Hometown Hero. This honor recognizes the work of impactful organizations and leaders who are making positive change in the communities of the District of Columbia that embody DC United's community values of empowerment, opportunity, and service. Wow. So over 30 years, she's been training, empowering, coaching, mentoring, inspiring corporations, government agencies, business leaders. She is an author, and she is so many more. Please welcome back to the show, Ambassador Dr. Margaret Dureke. That was a
And
lot.
that, Ambassador, how you doing today? How are you
I was
doing?
going to tell my sister to take a breath. It's not about me. Let's get with the program. Thank you so much, sister. I just love the two of you, really. I've been married for 37 years, and a lot of people don't understand. They think, oh, I don't want to get married. I don't want this, I want that. If you do it right, the marriage institution can be one of the best things that can happen to you. That's not to say it doesn't have its challenges from here and there when two people come together from two different backgrounds. But if you get it right, just like the two of you have and the way I have, it could be a beautiful thing. So I'm so proud of the two of you. And I'm glad to call you my sister. Continue to inspire other people that they need to get married so that you guys can complement each other and not compete with each other. That's where they get it wrong.
Well, I mean, I believe that competitiveness is always important, as long as it don't get out of hand. I mean, and Michelle and I, that's my heart and that's my soul. You know, Dr. Dureke, every time I talk to you, you done did something else of achievement. You continue to inspire. You continue to educate. I saw you with that jersey and all that stuff on the other day, with all the major league and the owners. And
Yeah.
hey, continue to educate and teach because
Yeah.
equality, respect is what's needed in this world today. And you are a pure example or one that is leading that charge. Yeah, so I commend you, sister.
Thank you so much. It takes one to know one. I tell people all the time that I'm so glad I met you two. You guys are so pure at heart. When you say you mean business in helping other people, you two are exemplary because talk is cheap, right? A lot of people say that, but they don't take you where you can get up and walk. They take you to where they give you a little bit of water and leave you there saying, I gave you help. So you two are the true deal. And I'm so very proud to have you guys in my life. For that, I'm grateful. And anything I can do to support the two of you, that's what I'm here for. So I try not to make these conversations about myself, but you can tell a story of other people if you can share how you got there, right? Because
Mhm.
and that's really why we're here. But to what you just said about the awards coming, it didn't just come overnight. And that's what the conversation today is about. Because a lot of people, Dr. Cooley, they want the perks, but they don't want the pain, right? It don't work like that, right? If you want perk, you gotta pay. It just there's no two ways about it. If you want to get the bling, you got to go through the process. But a lot of people are only interested in the bling, but not the process. And I'm saying no. So since I just talked to you guys, I think it was yesterday, just this afternoon, I got a call from Voice of America Television. So I'm going to be leaving tomorrow to go back to DC because English to Africa on Voice of America is turning 60 years old. And they're like, there's no better person to bring on the show to launch that. And I'm not saying this to praise myself. It's just to have people listen as we have this conversation regarding how did we get here? I didn't just wake up one day and all these accolades, all these awards, and all these amazing things, just keep coming to me. I was willing to do the work. I was willing to take the processes, as painful as they were or they might have been, not looking at what Jane Doe or John Doe on the other side is doing. I was willing to stay the course and continue to believe and do well by others. I literally got here because I helped other people. That's the simplest way. I stopped getting, how you like me, I want this, I want that. Hey, what about who out there is equally in pain that they're paying maybe worse than my own? Can I some people may not understand what I'm saying because it may be too deep for them because they're still stuck on themselves, right? You know what I'm saying? So
Ab-
that's the only way I can say it.
Absolutely. A lot of people, just like I said, they're stuck on themselves and not know that they're stuck on themselves, dog. And they
But we're
are
gonna help them. We're gonna help unstuck them so they can free themselves and have the freedom. Look at you and your wife traveling back and forth. To the one who don't get it, they go, oh, they're just having fun. They don't know your history. They don't know what you guys had to go to get to the point where you can afford to live this life. And we're gonna help them on this show and much more. And I'm starting my show this fall, and we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna
I,
help a whole lot of people.
I cannot wait till you kick off Margaret Speak because the world is in for some education. They're
Yeah,
in for some inspirement.
and
They're
empowerment.
in and they're in for some honesty, integrity, and ethics.
That's it. Without it, none of it will work. You can't jump. Some people want to jump to step number 20. You can't. You got to go and start one.
You got to go in step one in there.
You got to do step one.
You remember that show used to come on called Name That Tune?
Yeah.
And they give you 10 beats. They give you 10 beats to name the tune. You know, so a lot of people feel that they would just want to show people how smart they are, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, and they, now keep in mind, they got 10 beats. They're going to name it in 2, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and this is how life is where I'm going with this, Doc.
That's right.
So, as we continue to grow, you know, you naming that beat, now you naming it in 3. But you got somebody that's constantly sitting back, observing, growing, understanding, taking all this in.
Yes.
Every time that person, he named it in 5, regardless.
Exactly.
There's other people thinking that they're so smart, they name it in 2, 3, 4. And next thing you know, 5 or 10 years go by.
Yeah.
And this person that been constantly at 5, still named in 5. Now this other person to take them 5, and a promotion come up or whatever, and they like, wow, that person used to be able to name it in 2.
Let me add value to what you're saying to break it down for the folks listening to us. Okay. Let me tell you, I know exactly what you're saying. And I'll use since this is about talking about my life, my journey, and how I got here, how others. And I'm not saying that I got the answers. I'm just sharing my little journey, how God has evolved me, because you have to continuously pivot your life, your mindset. So what it is that when I decided I was going to start my own business or the nonprofit or what have you, everybody around me like, what? You're so smart. You could be a nurse. You could this, you could do that, right? And I knew that my calling was not tied to what they're trying to get me to. I was not deciding the path to life or my journey or purpose based on how much money I'm going to make. I hope I'm helping somebody already. If you start that journey of trying to find the fulfillment or the fullness or the full meaning in your life, and what drives it is money, you're going to be miserable. I hope somebody just got it right now. I made a decision once I figured out that what wasn't right in my life is something I can make my life work. I didn't know where the money was going to come from, but I knew that if I helped enough people to find themselves, the universe will never lie to you. That's simply my story. And that's exactly what you're saying in another way. Those who want it this way, they want to go this way and they fall back in it. If you jump, let's say, I don't know about the statistics, if you're aware about this statistics, Dr. Cooley, that people, a high percent of people who win lottery, millions of dollars, within 1 or 2 years become broke or kill themselves. Do you know why that is? Because they jumped a lot of steps. You build wealth one penny at a time. If you don't understand the methodology, the processes of building wealth, one of the reasons why I'm confident in where I am today, because I built it one sweat at a time, one tear at a time. I didn't jump any hoop, even when it took. So people who jump, they keep playing lotto. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with lottery. I always tell people I'm going to be successful. I didn't even want the lottery money because I wouldn't have known if I had what it takes to make it in this world, right? But let me get back to the important point.
Hold it though. We got to take a break. But you hit it right on the nose. You have to go through the steps in order to learn. If you start jumping steps and they give you 10 beats and you continue to name them, when you get to a trial situation, you're not gonna know where to go. And
you're gonna fall right back down.
You're gonna fall down, and all that progress you done made.
Yes.
It's going to be taken away. But we got to take a station break right now.
That's okay. Go ahead, bro.
But wherever you're watching this, whatever platform you're watching this on, if you want to be part of the conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments, ask this great doctor any question that you might have. Join the conversation. If you just want to say hello, just do that as well. And so I tell you, we're going to take a break and we're going to come back with more Dr. Dureke. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
I never wanna leave. Yeah, I'm right where I wanna be. We got something you and me, and I can't get rid of this feeling. Just like a magnet, we're just like a magnet.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and we got Dr. Dureke here. She's already bringing it. First segment, I always get a chance to know who a person is, and since you already know who this person is, we getting ready to go straight for the Googler and educate you, teach you, and enlighten you. So first of all, Dr. Dureke, I got to say that we just went over 18,000 subscribers doing this show
Wow.
right here. I mean,
Wow.
just 5 days ago, we was at 17,000. So
Hmm.
we just went over 18,000. So that
That's
means that
wonderful. To God be the glory.
uh,
Congratulations.
Soji, I know that you listen and watching the show. You're doing an absolutely wonderful job. Keep it up, my friend. Keep it up. I commend you.
That's
So
wonderful. Congratulations. It's gonna be a million very shortly too. It won't be long. Yeah.
hopefully we get that one day.
Sure. God is no respecter of persons. What he did for one, he can do for other. You're a believer. So I believe with
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. Doc, I want to pick it up with the title of the show, Turning Adversities into Achievements, and no matter what the situation is. Can you explain to our viewers and our audience exactly what you were saying when you wrote that?
Sure. Thanks for that question. As someone, I didn't grow up in America. I was born in Nigeria, came here right after high school. My father didn't live here. My mother didn't. I mean, I don't want to make excuses. It's not my thing. But can you imagine how difficult that could be? What I'm trying to do here is help people to count their blessings. Because oftentimes, when we focus on the things that are bad, and sometimes that bad thing is relative, it is very difficult to believe that you're worth anything because all you see is negativism. I went through a phase in my life. I used to work at Popeyes, I used to work at McDonald's. I believe in humble beginnings, as painful as they could be. And everywhere I turned, it looked like somebody was against me. Even my mindset was against me, but I blamed other people. Just think about it. But you have to get to a point in your life, as I said, no matter what, where you say to yourself, yes, my father did that to me, bad man. But I forgive him. I don't think he knew what he was doing. My sister slapped me when I was black. You get, I'm just giving you some, I don't know your situation. When I say no matter what, is because I know in every situation, no matter how bad it is, it has a silver lining. All the adversities I've been through. In fact, I'm writing a book about it, and someone told me the one, and I'm going to share it on this show when the time comes. They said, finish that book and I'll get you an Oprah because people will not believe what I've been through. But what I did was get to my head and your mindset, everything is right here. It is irrelevant, not the experience, but your experience is not who you are. When I say it's not relevant, I mean it's not relevant to your ability to overcome what you have encountered. Because until you come to yourself, what I call come to Jesus moment with yourself, me, myself, and I, wait a minute, this thing is not working. I know this person offended me. I know I got laid off. Is it to go back to school that I need to do? Or is it for me to, whatever? That's why I speak in a very kind of big term so that I don't put anybody in a box. Because to each their own, every person's issue is unique to them. And I would never dismiss anybody's experience. But here's my proposition to you all. No matter what, is because you cannot minister where you haven't bled. I've been in situations where others will say, not for me. But if you want to overcome whatever the challenge, let's take something such as debt, for an example, or during COVID. A lot of people, just don't misunderstand me because I'm not your average, you know what I mean, in my mindset. And that's what got me to where I am. Say during the COVID, a lot of people lost their loved ones without warning. Now, most folks to date got stuck on that. As awful as it is, you need to say to yourself at that moment, okay, first, you don't have control at that moment. It's over. You can't do anything about it. You can stew on that from now till the world collapses or whatever. You cannot change it. What I say to myself at that moment is, okay, what am I going to do to overcome this? Because being in this awful state of mind because it's in the mind more than anything than what is happening actually. What am I going to do? So what I did in that situation, like my brother passed, my baby brother. It was so difficult for me. Even when I think about it, I cringe, but I can't do anything about it. How do I turn that adversity into an achievement? And here's what I did, and I hope you listen carefully. I did my crying. I thought, my God, he has left these kids. What are we going to do? I immediately went to what would he have me do to make sure his children get to go to college? If your mom had an ambition and that of something that's important to them, and they die all of a sudden, you crying from now to tomorrow is not going to do it. What would you do that your mom would appreciate that you do? When you change your mindset about the thing that is happening, the way your perception, that thing that you're experiencing will change. I had to do that with myself over and over. Here is the caveat, is that it is not simple. It's not a one-time journey. It's not a one-time thing that you have to do where you do it one time, oh, voila, you're good. Now you can always turn it around. But what I'm saying to you with the examples I just gave you is that even in form of a debt, there is opportunity for you to either a foundation to honor that person that can become your calling. If you go down in the annals of history of people who started successful businesses over nonprofit, if you go and do the research, you will realize majority of them were born as a result of something so terrible that could have already killed them. So no matter what, if you take the due diligence for yourself, after you get over the crying, which is natural, I think crying is important because sometimes you need to use it to kind of excel and calm yourself. Then you go to what's next. That's when you begin to turn that adversity. The first thing you may want to do is call someone who's going to say, oh, how can I help you? Because you know why? You cannot do life alone. You cannot overcome adversity just by yourself. It is reaching out to those you will never call, and you must be willing to be vulnerable. Doc, I'll let you ask me a question because I can talk about this to you tomorrow. What I'm saying to my brothers and sisters watching or listening to us is, if you continue to feel sorry for yourself, pity party never does anything for anybody. But an overcomer's mindset, as difficult and as challenging it could be, one day I get to share with you guys when I literally died and went to the gutter, came out with nothing left of my life. But look at me now, because if you have it in your mind, nobody can take it from you. If you have it in your mind and you're willing to do the work, one step at a time, one day at a time, and you're not in a hurry. When I say, somebody say, you say that, but you're always in a hurry. I said, yeah, it means two different things. I'm in a hurry to walk through my life, but I'm not in a hurry to get to that finish line until God said so. But I enjoy the journey while I'm at it. So everyone has what it takes. And adversities come varyingly in terms of what it means to everyone. And some people see it differently, but I'm referring to it in the way, because there's a difference between adversity and challenge and obstacle. Adversity is that thing that happened to you. You're like, okay, what's the point of life? Yes, there is a point of life. My adversity is what gave birth to who I am today. What are you going to do with yours? Are you not willing to go through the pains to profit and get to the palace? Those are the questions. And if you want the answers, you can reach out to me, Margaret at margaretspeaks.com. I'm here to tell you that there's nothing special about me. If I can do it, you can do it.
You know, I cannot wait until Margaret Speaks debuts. When would you be debuting on television? And
we're looking at September because my producers, whom you met, which one of them is my daughter, Dureke Productions, we'll be meeting for you. You'll be amazed what they're putting together, because they said to me, we don't want you to go out there without putting everything in its proper place. So we'll be meeting every week. When I get back on Monday evening, we're going to go over my video, the one she's written. Even my introductory video is already done. All this kind of stuff, really. So we're looking at September. She said, take your time. Don't go out in a hurry. Because when you get back, when you come out, people need to see the way you came out. And that would pertain to who cares about it. And we're going with that. But we're working on it behind the scene. I'm excited.
That is so important, what your daughter just said, because when you come out, you want your show to stand out, and you want people to want to just lock in on it.
And take it seriously too. And know that you mean business.
Absolutely. So Dr. Dureke, so
Yes,
we
sir.
got about 2 minutes before the break. Can you tell us, what do you mean? What is your definition of empowerment?
So I was having a conversation with my daughter that I came to visit here earlier. And all of a sudden I said something as that people don't understand the power of self-power. You cannot be empowered unless you have your own self-power. What do I mean by that? Is the ability to resist when somebody talks at you. It is your ability to say no when people want you to say yes. Is the ability to go the extra mile when you're exhausted. You just don't even feel like you have anything to give. It is to be empowered is to say, despite all these challenges, despite all the naysayers, despite everything that is against you, no matter how hard you have tried, no matter how many years you've been working at it. In fact, on my TikTok show, which is, I think is the Margaret Speaks is my TikTok. I just started not too long ago. I'm doing this series on the power of what's supposed to be negative in your life, if you care to. So to be empowered is to give yourself the audacity to be in spite of how foolish you may look to other people, how anybody will perceive you negatively. First of all, to be dependent of other people's opinion is a very first condition to achieving anything great. I said that somewhere years ago. So if you are not independent in your mind about how others will perceive you, you can't be empowered, because as soon as they sneeze, you catch a cold. You need to be able to hold your own and stand firmly in your belief, no matter what others may say around you. And you're empowered when you stand and hold on to your post when everything else is shaking, but others are moving the other direction. You say, no, this is my position. This is what I believe. I'm going to hold on. It means a lot of things to other people. But here's the thing I want to share with you, Dr. Cooley. When what you believe no longer serves you, I don't care how great it sounds, you need to get rid of it. So you can be empowered, but is the empowerment belief system you have working for you? Are you getting to where you need to go? Just because you say you're empowered, what do you do with empowerment? Are you affecting anybody with it, right? Let me give you an example. There's a lady we interviewed that we brought on board. We just hired somebody officially today. And I asked her a certain question about her loyalty, what she's going to say. We didn't want to spend all this money for her to do that. She said, I am loyal, and I look at you as a mentor. I'm not just coming to work for WETATi just for money or whatever. I know that I will learn. I'll be so empowered when I move away. I've gotten more than money, and a lot of people don't understand that. It is so important that we understand what empowerment is. It's not exerting negative power on other people. It is not yelling at your employee because you have the title. That doesn't make you a leader. You're not empowered. You don't have power if you're using it against other people. In fact, you are the weakest link at that moment. So it depends on what you ask for people. But for me, power, the one that you use with compassion on other people and to yourself. Because to yourself, you got to be kind. If you're not kind to yourself, you wouldn't have that to give to other people. And you cannot be empowered to empower others.
Bingo. Because empowerment, just like you said, is first you have to empower yourself. In order, I mean, a lot of people sit back and wait on people to say, you got the power, you got the authority, you got this. Well, you better empower yourself. We got to take a station break right now, but whichever platform that you're watching this on, you see that this woman is so inspiring. She is so inspirational. And I tell you, you ain't heard nothing yet. We just getting started. We still got a lot more. Dr. Dureke. So I tell you, want to be part of this conversation? Go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. Valerie Blake, how are you doing? I miss you. I see that you're watching, and I see a lot of other folks are watching as well. I tell you, we'll be back shortly after the break. Is your life. We'll see you after the break. Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I got one of my favorite guests, my very very good friend, Dr. Margaret Dureke, and she will be kicking off her show real soon called Margaret Speaks. And as you see, this is much watch television because she's gonna educate you, she's gonna teach you, she's gonna excite you, and you're gonna be walking around knowing that you can. That's what I said, knowing that you can. So I'm excited to be welcoming Dr. Dureke to our network, and I'm excited. But before I start, I got to always tell you my new book that I just released, A Black Man Point of View, Mind, Body, and Soul, went number one release world, number one bestseller. And I tell you, today is my first book signing. We released this almost a month ago. So we're doing our first book signing, one a minute. And a lot of people, a Black Man Point of View, it's all about Black people. No, it's not. It's a roadmap to understanding what goes on in a Black man's head, from trials and tribulation, from colonization, from 400 years of slavery, from all of these things. But it's a teaching mechanism on being able to forgive what happened in the past and love and continue to love everybody, regardless of the black, white, green, gold, purple, whatever. So it's all about learning to forgive and learning to love everybody. So a Black Man Point of View, Mind, Body, and Soul, you can pick it up anywhere where books are sold. Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, anywhere where books are sold. Now, I want to get back to this great doc because you are doing so many things out there, doc. You're doing so many things. Why is it so important to inspire, motivate, educate, and teach, especially our youth and young adults? Because I know you focus on them a lot. Can you tell our viewers and our listeners why is that so important to you?
Yeah. Thank you so much again. I appreciate you so much. My brother from the other mom, right? Before I even answer why it's important to inspire, I want to touch a little bit on what it takes, because you can inspire all you want, but if people are not willing to do the heavy lifting to participate in their own rescue, because when you push a wet noodle, what does it do? It comes right back. So that's why I'm very heavy on mindset, because if you can get through somebody's mindset, right, they'll receive anything that you have to share. So knowing that you can is wonderful, but are you going to do it? You know why most people don't? They're afraid that they may fail, or they're afraid they're not going to be successful, so they do nothing. Can I share this with you guys? I think the worst chance you will ever take is the chance you did not take at all. Trust you me when I tell you that. I got here by taking so many chances that I didn't know how it's going to end up. On contrary to what others say, oh, now look at what you made me do. Now I didn't get anywhere. That's you saying that yourself, because you grew in that process. You grew in that moment. The processes or the ventures that I engaged to bring me here, if you only know how many there were. But I never looked at any of them as a failure. I never looked at any of them as something that, oh my God, look at how much I lost. Not at all. They are all the necessary ingredients that are so crucial to you getting to this person that you want to become. Don't be afraid to start. Pick up what is in your hand. What gift do you have? Do not minimize your gift. Do not look at what is near and dear to your heart as nothing. You see, because when you minimize your gift, it becomes nothing. Then you see it on somebody else's platform. You say, oh, I thought about that, but I didn't think it was anything. So I would challenge you today to embrace and accept what you have in your hand, no matter how small it may be today. Tomorrow, it could be the very next big thing. But how can I validate you if you have not validated yourself, right? Does that make sense? Let me give you one quick example, because I don't want to motivate you in a vacuum. I want to give you the facts as I see them. Experientially, I've been through it. So I know that as much as I was doing whatever I was doing and talking, I was doing the work behind the scene. I talk, but I couple it up. I couple it with a lot of work. I remember during one of our sessions, and I'll answer your question very quickly, when we were teaching I think the middle school students on entrepreneurship. And I was the one leading the class that day. There's this young girl by the name of Karen Chambers. And I was giving them an example. They're like, oh, I don't have an idea. Oh, that's too small. And I said to them, do you guys know Walmart? They said, yeah. I said, okay. Do you all know that Walmart was once somebody's small, tiny idea that I wasn't even sure if they knew how it was going to turn out, but they did it anyways? Karen said, oh my God, Dr. Dureke, I didn't know that Walmart was once a small company. Can you believe that? Because nobody cares. Well, let me take that back. Some people may not care about showing these kids the processes, not the end result. When you look around, right now I'm in New York, you look at all this tower and stuff, nobody's teaching our kids about the practical aspect of how it became a thing that now, don't let them just say, oh, that is so pretty, so 50,000 in, we need to engage them. Going to your question, why it is crucial, I'm going to segue into that, to empower them. If we do not capture these kids' mindset early on, that's why at WETATi Academy, our mantra is where classroom meets practical. You know, I don't want us to be producing what I call educated derelicts, right? You got education, but you got it. You know what I mean? They come a dime a dozen. I was like that for a long time. That was part of my frustration. I graduated Howard University with honors in 3 years, American University Law School. But for 20-something years, I was falling all over the place. I thought getting a job was the answer. It wasn't the answer. I got bored because I wasn't able, I hated the concept. And the more I saw the amount people who did 9 to 5 earn, the more I didn't want to be in that lane. So my question to you is, what is it that you hate doing? What is it that you hate doing that you're still doing? Could that be the answer to how you can live this life, right? Right?
Absolutely.
What is it that you hate that you're doing, but you think is convenient because you don't want to go through it? This is the reason why we capture these children very early on, and it is working, letting them know that they have the power to create. So we're helping them to change from job-seeking mentality to job creation. Because see, technology is changing every day. I went into a store the other day, there was nobody left. It was me and the computer, and I was cringing, and it's happening every day. A lot of those jobs that most of us want to settle because we want an easy way out, they are disappearing. We want to make sure the next generation of our children are not put in that platform. They have what it takes to live here in America and earn money globally like other counterparts of ours. And with a show like yours and a mindset like yours, we're going to capture them. We may not save all of them, but we're already successful. And we'll continue to drum it until all of our children are saved.
And we're gonna say some of them. We're gonna say some. And Steve Taylor got a question here. What is the key for the youth to focus on their vision? And I know that you got this thing called can-do attitude. Can you explain that to him?
What was the question with her? What was the question?
What is the key for the youth?
For the youth to focus. Okay. It's not one thing, it's multiple things. One, parental engagement. When I say parent, doesn't mean just the mother-in-law. It's called local parental. It could be the aunt, it could be a significant person who early on engages that child early on to let them know that their voice matter, that their focus matter, making sure they're engaging them, just like what we do in WETATi Academy. We work with 11 to 25-year-old because it may be a little bit too late. If you engage them in constructive activities so that they know that they cannot play all day, because some parents, and not in judgment, what we know is when the kids come home, they're like, honey, welcome. Nothing like, they say, go do your homework, go watch TV. What do you think that kid is going to do? They say, yes, mom, yes, dad. They're not going to do that. They just watch where you are and do to the contrary. For me, and how I've done it with my husband, John Dureke, is basically being a living example. You can tell a kid, oh, you want to do this and that. They're going to do what they see you do. Right? It's only what they see you do. That's why I have the audacity to talk to other parents, because I've seen it in my own home. Am I saying we are the Holy Ghost? Or not at all, but we've been able to do it. It is making sure that child is focused from day one, and it's never too late to save a child, whatever. put them in activity or programs, because a lot of parents after school program, they want to put them where they can play, where they go run an errand. Play should be a portion, but not the end result of what they should put them in program that can challenge their mindsets, just like what we do with the kids. Do you know, to use this as an example, in our classes now, we have students, when we started with them, didn't care about entrepreneurship, didn't care about what they were going. They just were in school because their parents want them to be in school. Because of our program, they now have a different mindset. They have a different focal point about the trajectory in their lives. One of them is this girl called Aisha. And I can go on and on.
Hey, Doc, we want to hold that thought, because when we come back, we want to talk about your academy. We want to tell the world all the great things that you're doing, how you're educating, how you're training, how you're teaching, how you role model, how you're mentoring. So we're gonna take a quick station break, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about WETATi Academy. And I tell you, if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is go to the comments. Ask any question that you might have is your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
Fight again. And if you want my opinion, I let it take me away. Only relief is the four on the floor and the crowd that goes, oh, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up, oh, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. Now, everybody see why I love having this doctor on my show, because she bring it every single time. I'm talking about every single time. And you always going to learn something. Only way that you don't learn anything from when Dr. Dureke is talking and teaching is you went to sleep because you didn't want to know. You can't do unless you want to. That's how you gotta want to learn. You gotta want to know. So hey Doc, can you tell us about that's so many things. I want to talk about the academy. I want to talk about this hometown award thing that you just went to. We got about 8 minutes. We got 8 minutes. We're gonna do pile all this in there. But let's start with the WETATi Academy. Let's talk about why did you create that? What led you to formulate
that? Thank you so much, Brother Cooley. I really appreciate you and my beautiful sister, Michelle. I just was going to say them quickly. I get all kinds of names. Now I'm called the Wealth of Knowledge. I'm a book guy. I got all kinds of names, Muxti Motivator, the Washington Post, and things of that nature. But that's a great question. WETATi Academy is really my gift to the world. I never thought about starting a nonprofit. And that's one of the things I do on my TikTok show, on how you can turn, any frustration in your life can become an inspiration. most people who created major things came out of frustration, but people resent frustration instead of looking for the benefit in the frustration, right? It was because I was frustrated because I got all these degrees that they told me go get it and they were mine to take. And I still didn't know how to fold a piece of paper to form a box. I said, wait a minute. I did my little crude research. And there were a lot of people that are college degree holders. They either they hate their jobs or they don't have a job at all. So I knew it wasn't just peculiar to me. So I knew that there was a missing link between what we're taught in the classroom and what we're taught, what we need to make it in the marketplace. I said, okay, now I know why I was born. That's really how WETATi Academy, we had evolved. It's called We Empower to Achieve Impossible. I said, okay, since this is a pervasive problem, I'm going to dedicate my life. Because if at the end of this world, all you had to show is what you did for yourself and your family, then you failed. You must be judged by what you did for those who may never get a chance to say thank you, right? And I'm not here to legislate morality or anything, is how I decided to lead. The goal is for you to see if you can get a little bit of inspiration in your own journey and then add that and be yourself. That's how WETATi Academy came into being. We decided we're going to tap into the businesses, whether it's Truist Bank or Fortune, all the different partners in the community who are mandated by law to give back to low to moderate income students or where they do business, so that we can bring this practical experiential entrepreneurship program to the youth. We focus on 11 to 25, because if you miss them at that point, what do most of these kids, they call, what did I say? They call them bad kids. There is no child that is bad. News, breaking news right now. This is my CNN breaking news. The only thing that is bad is that people fail these children early on. If we pick them up early, most of those kids that are called bad kids are very brilliant kids, but nobody was there to pick them up. Nobody helped them when they were eager, needing to be challenged. Like the person who asked the question, how do we keep the youth on their vision, is making sure that whatever gift or talent they have, somebody is there to nourish it. Somebody is there to harness it. Somebody is there to praise it. Somebody is there to move it along. Everybody needs validation. There's no one that doesn't need it. Even if after you validate yourself, it feels a lot much, just like the awards I'm receiving now. It's like, oh, wow. So the world finally has come to realize the things I've been doing for years ago. So I just talk in circles. I hope you guys get it. But it is so vitally important that if we don't pick it up now and we keep complaining about how the kids are bad here today and tomorrow, please, what about the ones that are born today? Are we going to begin to prepare, right? What if my generation missed it? Should we fail the next generation? So if you are not engaged in any nonprofit, whether that of Dr. Quillian, anywhere you are, you're missing a lot. Go where you are needed, even if you don't get paid for it. It will be the best thing that ever happened to you. I used to be stuck on myself.
It would be the best thing that ever happened to you, because
if they only know.
If you see and you're helping somebody, you see a smile and you see other
God.
people achieve. Now, tell us about the All-Star Hometown Award. That was so wonderful. Can you share that with our viewers?
Oh my God, it's one of those things. Like what I was going to end with this program is, whatever your journey looks like, I don't care how bad or how bad, your job in this world is to make sure that you turn those adversities into some form of achievement. And achievement does not come standardized. Whatever you espouse to be what it looks like, embrace it. Don't thumb your nose at your successes because you want it to look like something else. So I rather than answer the question, I want to speak to somebody who may be hurting right now, who may be saying, oh, if you only know how bad my situation is. No, you said that. That's not what your God said. What happened to you, as they say, if it doesn't kill you, will make you stronger. And I challenge you to tell you what happened to you, because it didn't kill you. That means your best life is just ahead. You just need to pick up your pieces and start right now and not make any more excuses. And be sure to reach out and touch, because you can't do it by yourself. The award we received was a whole week long. I didn't apply for it. I didn't know how it happened. All of a sudden, I got an email saying, congratulations. You know why? Because I am never seeking to be relevant. I'm never seeking to be known. I'm never seeking to be successful. I seek for a place of significance to make a difference, and the success will beget you. In the process of serving the low to moderate income student without knowing how life is going to treat me, I got that letter. And this is so major. I'm giving my kudos to Major League Soccer, all-star hometown hero. These people are amazing at what they do. The lifestyle they exposed us to, where we're in the room with billionaires. I mean, RBC Wealth Management manages $515 billion. I'm in the room with them. Now they want to work with us. They are truly serious, because some people will profess they want to support a nonprofit, but they don't go all out, even when they have the means. But I'm telling you, it is amazing what these people have done. We were lodged at the Willard Hotel for the whole week, everything paid for. They said, you work so hard. I don't know how to tell you, but what is done for me, let me go to the meaning of it. I know you gotta go, right?
Yeah, we got about 30 seconds.
For me, it means that your work is not in vain, and our Heavenly Father is watching. For those who want to get in touch, you can follow me on social media, Margaret Speaks, at Margaret Speaks page on IG, on Facebook again, or Margaret Dureke. On TikTok is the Margaret Speaks. So if you want this and you want to stay in touch with us, you can go to margaretspeaks.com and put your email us to be on our newsletter, so we can let you know when the show comes on. I won't stop talking. Doc, let me go.
Doc, we got to have you back on again real soon. Just let me know when your schedule will permit. I just want to thank you again. Always, it's just an absolute pleasure having you on the show. So thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you so much
for back on in about 2, 3, 4 weeks. I'll be back. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely fantastic show. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and listeners for tuning into the James Cooley Show. It's your life. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. It is your life. We'll see you tomorrow.